Hey there, welcome back for another movie review. And I wanted to review this a few times, but this is going to be the Dirty Harry, which I do have all five Dirty Harry movies. This is the Blu-ray box, I have all of them. You know, do I feel lucky? Well, do ya? Punkage, I love that. I've been rewatching this couple days. I've been rewatching all the Dirty Harry movies, and since I reviewed the four Rambo films and all five Die Hard movies, why not talking about another franchise, a favorite franchise of mine, and that's going to be Dirty Harry, the first Dirty Harry. And of course I'll show you the Blu-ray. So yeah, this is the Dirty Harry Magnum Force. Of course, the Enforcer, Sudden Impact, and of course the Deadpool, which but many people are not into the Deadpool. But I love all five Dirty Harry movies. All five Dirty Harry movies I love to death. They're just one of my personal favorite franchise of all time, and Dirty Harry came out in 1971. And yeah, I'm a huge Dirty Harry fan. There are five movies. There were five movies since 71 till 1980, starring Clint Eastwood. And the same year, in the 70s, 1974 came out Death Wish, which became a hit, and they also then later made it for five Death Wish movies before that series got before that series actually got it got a reboot, it became a popular, But I'm a big Dirty Harry fan. This is my favorite franchise. Fuck Death Wish. I don't like the first one. Death Wish first one to me sucked. I'm sorry. Two I like. Three love. Four like. Five sucked. Reboot I like. But Death Wish, I'm sorry. But this is my favorite franchise, Dirty Harry. Or should I say Inspector Harry Callahan, Clint Eastwood. That's my favorite character and my favorite franchise. It's my third favorite action franchise, and I dearly love all these movies. They're all Dirty Harry movies are great. There are five Dirty Harry movies. They're all great. All of them are great. There is no weak link. They're all great. I love all five Dirty Harry movies. And the first Dirty Harry, in my opinion, is the best one. It's the title, and of course, Clint Eastwood stars in this movie. I think this movie was also inspired by Arnold Schwarzenegger and Robert Urich, who decided to become Clint Eastwood's characters. In my opinion, Inspector Harry Callahan with Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum is one of his best movie roles that he ever did. His best movie role, best one. This movie was also based on Dirty Harry. Yes, this movie was based on Dirty Harry, And by the way, it's one of my personal favorite action films. And of course, I'm definitely going to review this film. But yeah, Dirty Harry, I love to death. I really want to talk about this movie for a while. The first Dirty Harry is the best one. I would say it's a masterpiece. Yes, Dirty Harry, in my opinion, is a masterpiece. It is, by the way, the cinematography and the filming locations, the cinematography, how they filmed is beautiful. It's a complete masterpiece. The beautiful music score by Lalo Schifrin, which I really do love the music score by Lalo Schifrin. Lalo Schifrin did all the music scores for Dirty Harry except the Enforcer. That's the only one that he didn't. I don't know actually right now why, but I'll look into it. Why he did not return for the third Dirty Harry with his beautiful music score. But Lalo Schifrin did a wonderful music score. and directed. This movie has been directed by Don Siegel. Clint Eastwood and Don Siegel did a few movies together. I'm not sure, but they wrote some of their films. I think the first one was Kogan's Bluff, 1968. I watched that film back in 2007. I watched that film. I downloaded it. I liked it. The second one was Two Mules for Sister Sarah, 1970, and then they did the Big Wilt, 1971. And after that, I think that was the third movie they did together. This was probably the fourth one, because this was the fourth one, and of course, I think the fifth one was Escape from Alcatraz, which I watched, Two Mules for Sister Sarah, I remember not being a fan of it. Have not seen the Big Guilt until just recently. I saw the trailer, not interested. But yeah, Dirty Harry was actually the best in my opinion. There was an early draft for a script, and that was by Terrence Malick, John Milius, Joe Hames, and Clint Eastwood did like the draft. When Clint Eastwood and Don Siegel were approached, Clint Eastwood liked the Terrence Malick story. He liked the Terrence Malick story, and he wanted that Scorpio will be killing those people, that he will be some sort of vigilante. But the script, Don Siegel hated it, he didn't like it, and he rejected. But Clint Eastwood liked it, so it was in later sequel, it was the screenplay. So what happened next? So the screenplay that was early draft, the screenplay was written by Terrence Malick, John Himes, John Milius, but because for Warner Brothers, they hire, I think the Don Siegel, I'm not correctly sure, but I think the Don Siegel liked the idea from Harry, Julian Fink, Rita M. Fink, and later they also came aboard for the story, Dan Reisner, then Dean Reisner, by helping them, So yeah, the story and screenplay was by Harry, Julian Fink, Rita M. Fink, and then Dean Reisner, and Don Siegel perfectly directed this film. And of course, Andrew Robinson plays Scorpio. He was also in this movie. I just show you Cobra. He was in this movie, He was also in this movie. Ren Santoni plays Chico Gonzalez. He became a partner to Inspector Dirty Harry, and there's of course the Scorpio played by Andrew Robinson is based on the Zodiac Killer, and because he was taunting the police, the Zodiac Killer, he was taunting the police and with his crimes, and he was also threatened that he's gonna the Sunday he's going to kidnap a school bus full of children. That was also in this movie. And Inspector Harry Callahan has been based on, I think was based by David Toshi. He was chief investigator on Zodiac's crimes. David Toshi passed away. And and of course Scorpion has been actually based on the Zodiac Killer. But yeah, the budget for this movie was only $4 million, but made worldwide $35 million. And of course, beautiful cinematography and Clint Eastwood's best performance. My favorite Clint Eastwood movie will be the Dirty Harry films, all 5 films, which I love them, And yeah, in this box set, there are all 5 movies. Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, The Enforcer, Sudden Impact, and the Deadpool. All 5 movies are on this film. And Dirty Harry is the best one. I will be hardly about ranking, but I think that Dirty Harry probably will be my 4th favorite from the franchise, because I kind of go more for Sudden Impact and the Deadpool, because I more prefer the 80s movies, but Dirty Harry, I love, incredible to death, love this movie. I mean, best movie I have ever seen, best action movie, a masterpiece action film ever. There's also the actor Al Papwell. He was in all 4 movies except the Deadpool, but he was in all 4 movies, and which that was cool. That was awesome. The first Dirty Harry, in my opinion, is the best one. It's a classic. There's no weakling. All Dirty Harry are masterpieces. They're great on each own, unique on each own. I love them. And yeah, in the San Francisco, which by the way, Don Siegel and Clint Eastwood are looking for San Francisco area, and they found it. They actually they first thought in New York, but they were looking for the film locations, and they found it in San Francisco. So yeah, the first Dirty Harry talks about this guy Scorpio Killer played by Andrew Robinson. I forgot to mention, but Andrew Robinson was also in this movie Cobra. I think I did already mention that. Andrew Robinson was actually a pacifist, which he hates the guns. He doesn't like them, and I agree. I don't like them either. But because every time he was fired with a sniper rifle, he flinched. So they shut down the production, and Don Siegel sent him into a sniper school so that he will learn proper shoot, which he did, but he was still flinching. But yeah, the camera wasn't that much. But yeah, the Scorpio Killer, or just Killer's writing, not his name, he's not mentioned, only Scorpio. He fires and kills a young girl who is swimming in the pool, and he extortion the city of San Francisco for $1,000. He's gonna continue killing. And because the mayor, John Smith, I think that John Smith, he was in the A team. I'm not sure was he on an A team, or I don't remember. But anyway, John Smith, as the mayor, he decided he's not gonna pay, but he's paying the police, and they called for the case Inspector Harry Callahan. And of course, and I love when Major says, "Let's hear it." And Inspector Harry says, "Hear what? What are you gonna do? What do you do?" And he says, "Well, for the past hour, I was waiting on you in my ass." So I love that. That's awesome, cool. Oh my God, I love this movie to death. So they also Mayor asked, I hope you won't have problems as last year, and of course Harry says, if this guy is haunting me, this guy Harry says, if this guy is haunting me, if a naked man, chases with a butcher knife, and his heart, I shoot the bastard. That's my policy. I love that. Anyway, so Chico Gonzalez, played by Renny Santoni, Renny Santoni was also Tony Chico in this movie, or was Tony Gonzalez? I think it was Tony Gonzalez this movie. While in Dirty Harry's name was Chico Gonzalez, Renny Santoni and Andrew Robinson respectively both returned in Cobra, both they returned, which Cobra was based on Dirty Harry, which I love that, So Chico Gonzalez he's been now assigned to Dirty Harry, and of course Chico asked why they call him Dirty Harry, and Fatso, the Giorgio, Fatso, I think was played by John Mitchell, says because Harry hates everyone, space Jews, niggas, hates everyone. And Chico says, what about the Mexicans? And Harry says, ask him, Harry says, yeah, special Mexicans. Oh my God, I love that. That's my favorite scene, So while they're looking for, while Scorpio tries to shoot again, because he said he's gonna kill a young black kid, or he's gonna kill a priest, and he's with the helicopter spots a man with a shotgun and a sniper rifle, and he escapes, So Harry and Chico are searching for him through the night of San Francisco, and they saw a brown suitcase, and when Harry is following He thinks he has the right man, but no, it was a couple upstairs, and Harry gets assaulted, but Chico saves him, and Harry says, let them go, they do, and yeah, so he says, let them go, and they do that, and yeah, so there's a suicide jumper, in which Dirty Harry has gone on the ladder, tries to convince the suicide jumper. I read that on trivia that was actually directed by Clint Eastwood himself, because I read that Don Siegel has been ill that time and he was unable to direct it. So the suicide jumper that was directed by Clint Eastwood, But really great direction. I mean, he goes to the suicide jumper, talks to him, tries to convince him that he needs his address. And the guy, was get sick. And Harry pulls him over, punches and knocks it down, and says, now he says to Chico, now I know why everyone's calling me Dirty Harry, because I always get the dirtiest job, So then Scorpio Killer this time did kill 10-year-old boy. Yes, he killed 10-year-old boy, black boy. He was just 10 years old. They find his body. He blew his face off. Which was really bloody. They didn't show the scene, but that was really gruesome. And so now they decide. So now they decide to pay him the money, $1,000, $100,000 they're gonna pay him, and Harry becomes the bagman, and of course Scorpio Killer keeps stunting, Scorpio keeps stunting Harry, and Harry has to run, and I think that he goes to the tunnel. There's a few guys, he punches, kicks them, he finds a guy who says, my name is Alice, he says, I'm scared, my name is Alice. And says Alice would like to be arrested, And there is also in which Marion Cobra Cobretti, mentions his name Alice, says, I wish my name would be Alice, They're definitely completely strictly follows formula to Dirty Harry, And of course, I think that was improvised lines by Andrew Robinson, who said, "Haba haba, pig bastard," "Haba haba haba, pig bastard," And he goes by the cross and he kicks Harry's ass. Chico, of course, is the only one that follows the order and helps Harry. He goes after him. He saves Harry's life because the guy tried to kill him, he was kicking him to bloody, then Harry grabs the guy, starts shooting with a rifle. He starts shooting with a rifle on Chico. Chico fires his gun back. Harry stabs him. The guy runs away. The guy runs away. All bloody. He runs away. We see all blood. It was gruesome. And Harry been all blood. This is the first time that Harry gets kicked in the face. Also, they were also open the roof for the serial killer Scorpio. Every night, and they stake out. Of course, Harry and Chico founds him, and Harry shoots with another rifle. He goes and fires a sniper rifle, but misses, and the guy has automatic magazine weapon and starts firing, with the rifle back, and he kills also another cop while on the run, So by the doctor, they did, some guy was stabbed in the leg, so here in the Giorgio, while Chico is in the hospital, here in the Giorgio, they both now go to, they both now, they found that the doctor told them that he was living on the Yankee Stadium, naturally on the football stadium, so they go to the football stadium, and the Giorgio, while Harry's climbing the Giorgio, opens all the lights, and while the guy is running, the lights opening, and of course Dirty Harry aims with his 44 Magnum and fires and shoots bloody his goddamn leg off, and the guy was whining like a little crybaby. Don't kill me, just don't kill me, come a doctor. And of course, Harry says, go into fresh air, fatso. He goes and he stares at the goddamn leg, asking where's the girl. Scorpio kidnapped a girl. He kidnapped a 14-year-old girl, and yeah, he kidnapped her. And Sally, the girl, was dead. She's suffocated. He raped her, kidnapped her, and of course he then put her in the pipe, in which the poor girl died. And while he was stepping at him, this is my favorite scene. Yes, my favorite scene is on the football field with all in the dark with all the lights. That's my favorite scene. That is so beautiful filmed. I mean, but so beautiful filmed. It's just so beautiful filmed. Beautiful scene, great sequence. I think that the Don Siegel directed the sequence. That was a very beautiful shot. Beautiful. With one shot, with one shot, he blew his goddamn leg off. One shot, and then he goes steps at him. So the guy makes him talk. They found the girl. She's dead. And yeah, and I was not happy because they let him go. And the guy, I think was a prosecutor, says, I'm surprised they're not being prosecuted, and Harry's like, what? And they're like telling they had to let him go because he was breaking he was breaking his rights. He had no search warrant. It was an illegal search. And since when he has he thinks that it's right to torture the suspects. And Harry says, well, the law is crazy. What about the girls' rights, And of course, the judge said that they could reconsider the girls, the inspector's safety, for the girl, but it's not gonna do much in court. He's gonna let him go, He's gonna be walked because it was an illegal search, So of course Harry says, "Don't think you're gonna hurt the last time for this guy." And I think the one of them asked him, "How's that?" Because he likes it, He enjoys it when he's killing. He's gonna continue killing, So Harry decides in free time to follow him around. And because Scorpio decides he does not like that, he hires some black guy, he pays him $200 to break his face, and then he goes and he accuses Harry Callahan that he was bitten in his face, that he landed in a hospital. And Harry says, "Do you want my badge?" And said no. He says he did follow him 3 times, but he did not do that. And I think his superior asked him, how's that? He says, because he's looked too good, of course. But yeah, the guy, comes out to the hospital. He did it in the newspaper that Harry beats his ass. He goes, he robs this guy in the store, steals a bottle and steals a gun and ammunition, and then he goes and he kidnaps a school bus full of kids, at least 6-7 kids. And he goes, and the bus driver, a young lady, he goes and kidnaps her, and he sends to a mayor another note that he wants now $200, and they're gonna on the airport with the kids, and they don't try to stop him. And the mayor says, we're gonna leave the guy alone. Why? We're gonna leave the guy alone, nothing is gonna happen to him, and Harry says, find someone else back, man, I'm not gonna be it, and I love when Harry says, he has to be stopped now, which is right, and Man, I love this movie to death. So Harry is the only one that goes to the guards, jumps on the bus, where this guy is torturing kids, he was even slapping one of the kids, and the bus lady says, don't hit the kids, don't have to hit the kids, and Scorpio says, mind your own business, and of course Harry jumps on the bus, and of course Scorpio says Jesus and starts firing at him, and they stop the bus, there's a great shootout scene. Scorpio runs, Harry goes after him, he gets fired at him, and yeah, he keeps firing at him, in the end, Scorpio grabs one of the kids, and he's laughing, and of course, Harry shoots him, and hits him. The kid runs away, and the final scenes I love, he says, when Scorpio tries to grab the gun, says, I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I kind of lost track myself. But then this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world. And the most powerful handgun in the world, and will blow your head clean off. You gotta ask yourself, do I feel lucky? Well, do ya? Punk! And the guy grabs gun, and Harry with one shot, bang! Shoots his ass, and then he shows the star, and the movie beautiful ends. The final shootout is my favorite, is probably my second favorite scene. The football stadium, the final shootout is the best of the film, And also in the opening scene, when you see the bank robber, Harry also says the same quotes, and that was Al Papwell, and says, hey man, I gotta know, and he fires, and empty. It was empty, guys, and son of a bitch, The reason why I love Harry Callahan, not because his beautiful quotes, that says, I know what you're thinking, that he fired 6 shots or only 5. Well, to tell the truth, in this excitement, I kind of lost track myself. But then this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and will blow your head off, and will blow your head clean off. You gotta ask yourself, do I feel lucky? Well, do ya? Punk, And my favorite character of all time, definitely my favorite action hero. And Harry Callahan, best action hero, in my opinion. And also, mostly people are saying that the best villain of all time is Hans Gruber from Die Hard. What about Scorpio? Played by Andrew Robbins. So this guy, he done this all. He was killing people. He kidnapped a school of bus with kids. He shot a police officer. He raped, he kidnapped, raped, and murdered a young 14-year-old girl. This guy done it all. He killed kids. He was killing young people. He killed kids. He was assaulted people. This guy was a maniac. And this guy, he done it all. So I would definitely say Scorpio is one of the best villains. Not only Hans Gruber, Andrew Robinson's best performance, Clint Eastwood's best performance. I love this movie to death. The Dirty Harry movies are my favorite movies of all time. The first one are the Rambo movies, because I love all 4 Rambo movies. The second franchise will be Die Hard, which I love all 4 Dirty Harry, all 4 Die Hard movies. And of course, all 5 Dirty Harry movies that I love to death. Beautiful cinematography, beautiful shootout. We have a great shootout at the end. And I forgot to mention, which is important, but Clint Eastwood, he did all his own stunts. That was Clint Eastwood jumping off the bridge on the school bus. It was him. It wasn't stunt double. It was him. He did all his own stunts. They don't make movies like this anymore. I want movies like this. Why can't we get movies like this anymore? And the reason why I love this movie more than Death Wish is because Paul Kersey broke the law. Harry never broke the law. Harry also Harry in the opening scene, he has a lunch, he eats, and these guys, they came. I think there were 2 or 3 guys who were robbing the bank, and I love when Harry says call this number, says there's a robbery progress, and it's only the good guy shows up, that's what I love, because he's a honest guy, he's a working honest guy. That's what I love the character, that is it makes him so decent, Unlike Charles Bronson's character Paul Kersey in the first movie, I never could got into that which movie, but that's why Dirty Harry movies, I love Dirty Harry to death. It's my favorite movie of all time, the best one. All 5 movies are the best, directed by Don Siegel, screenplay written by Harry Julian Fink, Rita Fink, and Dean Reisner, and the story, which they did great. There was also Harry Guardin, he was a wrestler. I think he was also the superior to Inspector Harry Callahan. And of course, I forgot to mention, but Don Siegel also directed Telephone with Charles Bronson. I definitely would love to see Charles Bronson Telephone. As a kid, I saw that movie, but have never seen Telephone before. But yeah, I think this is. I think they did 5 movies together. If I missed someone, I apologize. I'm really not perfect, but like I said, Kogan's Bluff probably was Clint Eastwood and Don Siegel's first movie. 2 Mules for Sister Sarah, the second one. The Big Wilt, 1971. The third one, this will be probably the 4th movie they did together, Dirty Harry. And the 5th one, of course, will have been Escape from Alcatraz, which I enjoyed the film, but I don't have it for the Clint Eastwood, But yeah, that's my review on Dirty Harry, 1971. We'll be reviewing, of course, the other films soon. Next review is gonna be Magnum Force. Before I go, I forgot. It's going to be 50-year anniversary next year. It's December, so it's almost gonna be New Year, and it's gonna be a 50-year anniversary when this movie came out. And I have a question: will this movie get any special edition? No, or any special treatment? No. You can get only 5 movies together, Then also, I think you can get separately the Dirty Harry, Magnum Force. I don't know if you get in 1 disc or 2 discs in a box, and also separately the Enforcer and the Deadpool, the Enforcer and Sudden Impact together on Blu-ray in US. But I don't think you will get the 5th one together. You have to buy all the box, all of them. But there's bonus material in the special edition. But yeah. Also, there are bloody scripts in this movie. It also feels like a horror movie by the same time. The film Dirty Harry. But yeah, Clint Eastwood's best performance, and I love dearly to death this movie. I think I saw this movie back in 1987, 1988, 1989, the first time. Yeah, this is the first Dirty Harry I saw. Magnum Force was the second one. The third one was the Deadpool. I think that number 4 was probably Sudden Impact, or was the Enforcer. I can't remember. But I know that Dirty Harry and Magnum Force were the first 2 movies I saw. The 5th one was the third one was the Deadpool. The other 2 movies I don't remember. I think it was the Enforcer first. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah. So that's my movie review on Dirty Harry, 1971. I also used to have the DVD, but today it's an antique, but it's completely ripped off. The whole cover is now ripped off, but like I do have all of them Blu-ray. I watched last night. I enjoyed this movie as hell enjoy. Love this movie to death, and yeah. So yeah, that's my movie review on Dirty Harry 1971. So yeah, now it's everything what I wanted to say. So take care. Rick. Rick, 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 yeah, Rick, Rick, Rick. My dog, I'm calling my dog. Rick, 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 Rick. Well, that's everything, but I have to show you my beautiful dog. I love this dog, that's why I'm calling him. Okay, let's. Oh my god. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. It was my pleasure to review one of my favorite action films, Dirty Harry. Stay tuned for Magnum Force. Take care now. Bye. I'm out. Peace. Ciao.